Chamazima, I really fail to understand this. Mm, I really fail to understand this. But members of parliament, especially members of parliament on the opposition side, Semujunganda, and all the other people, you always talk and do this instead of taking ekipapula kyemutambuza kati ekyokujjako Simanyi Mpuuga and the rest from the seat, or like from the commissioner, mwandibadde mutambuza ekipapula kujjamu sipiika oki kumujja kuwa sipiika. You are working under the speaker who is under censorship. Speaker bamusensaringa, US yamusensaringa, Bungereza yamusensaringa, UAE yamusensaringa. Mulinze okumusensaringa how many countries the mulinze okumusensaringa, mulyoke nammwe mujje ekipapula mumujjemu like mumujjemu obwesige. Mulinzaani. And also to my President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, with due respect, Okolote State of the Nation's address under the speakership or under the chairpersonship of a censored speaker. N'otuuza parliament n'oyogerera eggwanga nga speaker aliko ali under censorship. Ensi zonna ezinaakula oba ensi yonna enaakula oba ensi ezaakula, whenever someone is pinned or pinpointed nti yali enguzi oba whatever he or she did, your public officer asooka n'agivaamu. I thought at first when you started inquiring about among his whatever alleged things that he has in London, nali manyi nti otandise okunoonyereza, nali manyi president atandise okunoonyereza. Then what next? I thought what next is telling Anita Among to step aside, but it did not work out. Chakomao. Actually, people say Museveni, you always talk about corruption. We are fighting corruption and whatever. And you again talked about it in the recent State of the Nation's address. You talked about corruption, but it's only about talking. There is no any action. President, with due respect, please at least start with this. Anita Among, now Kenyan, if you're really patriotic, please better step aside. Yes, step aside. You've got enough. What you've got now is what it can sustain you. Your husband is also in government. He will keep earning. Better step aside. Uganda tuswala. I love my country. I'm so patriotic. And someone who is patriotic, you better give up. You see, Israel, Benny Ganther was on the cabinet, like the war cabinet, but after so long, he saw a lot of people are dying in Gaza for nothing, for really nothing. He decided to resign because of a lot of those atrocities inflicted onto the people of Palestine, the children, the women and whatsoever. Most of them are dying for free. A lot of people have died just because of a simple group of people called Hamas. So this guy decided, why should I keep on this war cabinet that is inflicting a genocide to people? He decided to resign. Speaker, why, if you have that patriotic heart, why can't you resign? Members of parliament, how do you go ahead? Just of juzi bamemba ba parliament baagana okugenda mu State of the Nation's address, especially those from the opposition side. Why can't you also boycott the parliament? You boycott it really. Oh, instead of pushinga kino ekyampuuga okumugyamu mupushinge kino. You're the electorate abalonda ba speaker. Temwetaaga na mikono mirala oba kugenda mu bantu oba mwe bennyini mwekolemu omulimu. And I want this to start with the NRM members of parliament. Mwabayero mwennyini. Cause this is an enemy at home. Ono ali munda. Bannange. Ensi oba eggwanga lyonna okukulaakulana. Let me put it like this. Any country is built on corruption tegenda kukulaakulana. And where we're heading to is really tough times. Really tough times. Bw'oba tokiraba nti abaana baffe n'abazzukulu baffe eyo mu maaso bagenda kubonaabona. It's high time tuveeyo kati tukivumirire. It's high time tuveeyo kati tukirwanyise. You people, we need to do something. Members of parliament, come together. Come together on this thing. As you see, why are they sanctioned? These countries do not just come from nowhere and put sanctions. No. Members of parliament. And the other thing, there are so many things you members of parliament, especially when it comes to increasing your salary, when it comes to buying you fancy cars and whatever, you all come to a consensus. Whether opposition, whether where, you all come to a consensus. Meaning you just mind about yourself. The guy said that this country is for good and my stomach, no good for us all. Oh my goodness. Whatever you get is for your own, so you don't mind about those people who elect you into offices, into those offices you are in. Banang, we are heading to dark times. If we don't fight corruption in our country, we are heading to dark times. My president, please vaayo olwanyise obulyake, olwanyise obuli bw'enguzi. Yes, olwanyise. Actually, one scholar said corruption in Africa, let me narrow it now to Uganda. It is no longer corruption. It is no longer embezzling of public funds. It is stealing. Should I call it stealing? What should I call it? It is more than stealing at an industrial level. It is more than stealing. This is robbing. Robbing at industrial level. Robbing to the, I don't know, how can I put it? It is robbing to the, robbing everything out of the treasury. Banang. This is beyond. If we really say we are patriotic, let us come out and fight this. NRM party, please. NRM party, please fight this. NRM party or your speaker, Abamu NRM. We can sit as NRM in Chankwanza and decide to tell her, let her go aside. Yes, Tayewa can take on and we get another deputy. Yes, it's very simple. So I love my country. I love whenever I go with this flag. You can see I love my country. And njagala ensi yange ebeere stable ekulakulane. That's why I've come up with this. Si mu bubi. Anyone who loves his country would do this. If the speaker had that patriotic heart, herself would just step aside and return whatsoever she took. Thank you very much. By the way, I buy the idea of Chisa Chamkama. Was it Chisa Chamkama? No. Who? I just forgot the name of Gambia okubatemako emitwe. Musibe bulungi bannange. Nice time.